Hello everybody, this is a new Brick and Roll live stream here on our assembled YouTube channel. And tonight, with a very special guest. I haven't met him, but I've seen so many comments of him within the last years. I was really hyped to talk to him this evening. For the first time here on any assembled live stream is the one and only BrickTsar. So good to see you.
Hey, thank you for having me on here, Andres.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. And I thought this time we can just talk one-on-one because I had so many guests within the last weeks. Totally relaxed conversation about so many topics because I knew you were really into trains. You know what Bricklink is all about. You can tell us about the changes and you can tell us about your A4 life because you're around all the time. So first of all, where exactly in the United States do you live?
I live about an hour north of a city in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. I live so Atlanta is the biggest city in Georgia. Most people are familiar with Atlanta, Georgia. I live about an hour north of there. Been in Georgia all of my life. So I'm country. I sound country. If I don't know if people know what I'm talking about, but I'm from the South.
Okay, I still try to figure out those differences. So when I've been 4 times in New York City, I've never been at any other region. So I have to drive around one day and meet other people as well. So I would just say welcome to the chat. You know this guy, if you have any questions within the next, I think, 45 minutes, just go for it. We will collect them and then you can discuss also with us. So it's a totally relaxed A4 evening here with two guys talking and you're in the chat as well.
Y'all, that's for Robin. Robin said, "Can we get a y'all?" So I said, I had to say y'all.
Yeah. Oh no, this is something. I mean, first of all, I will show what we're talking about. So if you don't know this guy, I mean, he looks really good. Look at him. The shirt, everything is perfect. Glasses on. He has many YouTube channels, but maybe you know this channel. This is the main channel where we talk about bricks. It's BrickTsar, of course, and here's an unboxing with a son. And you see here a lot of older stuff. And this is a channel I know for many years. So tell us, is this actually the first channel of yours?
No, it actually is not. My original channel was called J Olson 37. I started it back in 2007, and I've changed it now. It's Jabo 37. It's like if I had everything to do over, everything would just be Jabo something, since that's what my nickname is. That's what I've been called since my birth. But the original channel, first videos were uploaded in 2008.
Long time ago.
Yes.
And I know that you have other channels as well. For example, one is totally about trains. So this is something you don't, I mean, you love Lego trains, but also other toy related trains.
Right. So on my original channel, I had started doing, well, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I tried a lot of different things before I actually started doing Lego videos. I was doing comic books. I was doing nature, just all these different topics, whatever I could think to do of. And there were really a lot of bad videos, but I did some train videos, slot cars videos, slot cars and trains together. And those did quite well. Also did roller coaster videos. But then I got to seeing that there were people doing Lego videos. So the first other channel I created was BrickTsar. I created it in 2012, at the end of 2012. And then I noticed the train videos did well, both on my original channel and on BrickTsar. So I said, I'm going to make a separate channel that's all about any kind of train, because I didn't want it to be limited to just Lego trains. So I created Trains Are Fun. And that was in July 2014. Those are my 3 main channels. And I try to keep trains, only trains on Trains Are Fun. I'll still cover Lego trains on my BrickTsar channel. And then the original channel is still a lot of random different things. And I got a couple other channels as well.
So I see. I mean, trains is very important to you and for me as well. And when I drove to my office with my bike, I thought about the first comment of yours I remember, and I think it has been under a toy fair video in Nuremberg, where they've shown the first Lego Friends roller coaster, and you told, "Come on, Lego, give us a real roller coaster." And now we have it right there. So this is kind of a happy end. So Lego listened carefully to you, it seems.
Yes, that was one of the things. I was always pushing for the roller coaster. I was one of those people always commenting on Lego, their post. Where's the roller coaster? We want the roller coaster. And I had used the Kinex roller coasters, the Coaster Dynamics roller coasters, and me and my son and I both just love roller coasters, real roller coasters, and the toy ones. And when they came out with that kit, I was like, well, I can't complain anymore. They made a roller coaster. So, and I really enjoyed seeing what people have done, because the other thing, we want a loop. We like loops in roller coasters, and it's been neat seeing what people have done, adapting the limited track that they have. But it's, Lego, they fulfilled a wish there.
There was actually one kind of leak, and I was back in the days, because we first saw the new rail system within the Batman set, which was really Joker's minion. I forgot the name right here, but it was
Joker Manor.
Manor, yeah, of course, yeah. The castle. And I was missing, something like a straight where you can go up. And then there was an event in Billund, where many parts lying around, and there was one prototype lying in the back, and I saw it. And this became the actually part we first seen in the roller coaster set, because I thought this part is missing. But what you're telling about the loop, we've seen many ways. So I think when they produce those elements, they had in mind there are freaks out there. They're going to have to build the loop, and it's possible, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. We haven't actually done it ourselves, but I've watched videos on YouTube of people that have added a loop. Need to get a lot more track. But you got to have a loop.
It's always about having more elements, more bricks. You know that. So this is a happy end. Then I've seen a few other comments of yours. I remember you posted a few things under the first ones I did with Beyond the Brick. And then, of course, I remember the most important comment of yours under our Fold visits in the Lego Idea House. So just to explain in a second to the viewers right now, there is actually the Lego house right now. There is a museum downstairs, and it is kind of the same like in the Lego Idea House. But in the Lego Idea House, you have the museum and also a Fold. So where you have every single set of all those years. And you were really, I wouldn't say angry about me, but I skipped those first rows with all the sets from the early days, and was about, I would love to see the stuff of the 70s and 80s. So you don't hate me, but you think I should stay there in first place.
And I've put those little comments on. I've done it with Beyond the Bricks videos, and that first aisle, I think it's 1966 or the 1960s through 1976. That's my childhood, all right? Because I started Lego in the mid 70s there, and there's some things I want to see in there to see if they have them. And I know they got different vaults, and I was talking to Robin Hull, who actually told me that some things they didn't have in the vault, and they had to go actually buy them to put in the vault. So there's some sets that I've seen very limited images of that I'd like to see if they actually have a copy of it in the vault. And it would take too long. I know y'all probably had limited time when you're in there, and when you get past that early part of the 70s, everything gets more interesting to everybody. But I actually went back and watched your video last night. It's about a 4-minute long video where you're showing some of those sets, and there's these other guys. I'm like, get those guys out of the way. I want to go back further. Further.
It is the way you just mentioned it. So when we go there, we still have other things to do. So we have like design interviews and stuff. So it's like we can go downstairs for 30 minutes, then we have to go back to our table and do the interview. So it is really tricky to see everything. But of course, when you remember all those sets of your childhood, which I still have all my Lego around, but it's still a magical thing to see this box and remember, as you open it as a kid, like it was different back in the days. You have the wheels separately and stuff, and it's always fun to see those sets. So if we go to Balloon next time, I will do you a personal favor here. Which set should I find for you and hold it in my hands?
I don't even know if it's in there, and I got to get the set number right. It's an airport set from the early 70s. You know what? Now I got to go look it up. It's either, I think it's 367 is the number. And
okay.
See if that's it. It's either, yes, it's set 367, the mini wheel airport with mini wheel vehicles or something.
Okay.
That's the one. I want to see if that actually exists in the vault. Mini airport and vehicle set 367.
I will try my very best right here. I will just show a few images. So as I mentioned, I've been there a few times. It is always good to see those images, and I mean the old yellow castle and other stuff. But this is actually an image of the new museum in the Lego house. So you can see, as I mentioned, a lot of stuff in the Lego house as well. And the Lego Idea house is unfortunately only for press and fan media and stuff, and for Alex, but it's always fun to be there. So I will check this out next time. And right here, we have the train, and we will switch now to trains. But before that, there's one question here of DZ Studios. Do you have any problem with Jane? He asked. So maybe you've seen our party last Wednesday, and Jane was our VIP guest in the end. But unfortunately, we're running out of time. So he was there. Is there any problem between the one and only Jane Bricks and the one and only BrickTsar?
I don't think so. Does he know who I am?
Yeah.
And that's that. You did a video with. I thoroughly loved it. By the way, the video where y'all were interviewing him, and you uttered my name, and that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know about that.
All right. So it's good to have so many awesome guys out there I can talk to, because I mean, it's all about bricks. I will just show the image again here of the train I just mentioned. So this is kind of the thumbnail here of our video. And just a second, it's this one. And actually, I haven't seen this train. So I saw this image. Well, hey, this is a good looking train. Do you remember this one? It's here, right here. The red train. It's 357, it seems here, if this is the set number.
Yeah, that looks like it's probably from one of the instruction manuals or idea books. That wasn't a set, but they had a lot of different interesting ideas when Lego invented the wheel. I mean, I got trains that go back further that didn't have wheels.
Okay.
So that has no wheels. There was a time period where Lego had 2x4 bricks for the wheels. So pretty sad. But though I have seen models like that in the museum there that were in the different idea books from the early 60s when they first invented the wheel, which is, I think it was 63. I can't remember what year the wheel first became a Lego element.
Kind of, I would say so too, in those years at least. So in your bag, I see a lot of sets, and my question is, I mean, I have of course sets on shelves as well, but do you have an own city where you put some stuff and sets, or is there no city in your house?
No, I do not. I don't have a city. I did for a little while. So we in 2000, what year did the Lego movie come out? 2014. I realized
14. Yeah.
I realized I was Lord Business because the kids, they were in their teenage years, 13, 14, when that movie came out. And I didn't want them messing with anything. And so then I started letting them do whatever they wanted. And they started, putting people in the modular sets. They started rearranging things, rebuilding things. And we did have a big table about 8 feet by 25 feet. I'm not sure what that is in meters, but that I had that for a while, but I've disassembled all that because everything was between the cat and the dust. I took everything apart, and I didn't like the way it was to access parts of the city because I had to crawl under the table. And I'm getting old now. I'm an old man, as some of my viewers like to tell me. And I don't want to crawl under the tables anymore. So in the process, and it's taken me a long time, I'm taking everything apart. I'm re-inventorying everything. And I want to redesign my city where I can access everything without having to crawl under it. So it's going to take me a while because I got too much stuff. But that's the goal. I want to rebuild it. But yeah, for now, I don't have a city.
But don't tell such sad stories. I mean, I'm 32. You are 39 now. So we still have a lot of years to play with bricks and line on the ground. But I can tell you, I have 2 kids at home, and I still have those moments where I sit on the floor, and it's I could say the chair is better for me. So,
well, so speaking of the floor, so when I was a kid, I had those sets, a few sets, very few, and I had like a little windmill set. I had a hospital set. I had some little police figures and things, and that's where I played, was on the floor. And I remember sitting there as a kid, imagining, okay, I'd like to get this other set and this house, and there's these other sets you can see in the catalogs that I would want, but I couldn't afford. But I was like, I would imagine having like all these laid out. And we didn't have road plates back then, but I did imagine having everything laid out. But I pictured it on the floor. I didn't actually picture it on tables, and that's one of the things in the 2000s when I started noticing lug groups and things like that. And then when YouTube came along much later, that you started seeing people having the city layouts and the railroads. I did think of having a railroad, but yeah, it's so much different than when I was a kid where you just always played on the floor with this stuff.
A few viewers have freaked out because a few weeks ago I removed one rail here.
Oh,
because I needed more space for my buildings, and I had the same thought. So do I have to enlarge my city or leave it this way? Because it's so much work to clean everything. So right now I'm in a good mood to leave it this way and really change some buildings from time to time, because I think it's good focus. So I have a lot of things I can see. By the way, there's something right now I can show you. It will be the first one ever.
Oh, really?
See a new part of my city, but it's a tiny one. Okay, I added a park here. Because some people, there's no park life in the city. So there's a little park here in the edge of our city, and you can imagine it's such a central park. It's going all the way around. So I listen to my
there. Yeah.
So at least something. So, but the most important thing, of course, is when you're mentioning trains and loops and something. There are so many great sets out there already. We have seen. And of course, there is one train which released Lego this year as a gift with purchase. Yeah. What do you think of this train as a big train expert here? Is it a good one? I mean, I still have the old one as well, but is it a nice way to bring the train back?
Yeah, I really appreciate them making things like this, especially with it being a gift with purchase, which is awesome. And I'm sure it confuses everything. Lego has a thing about doing anniversaries of different things that people don't know what the anniversary is. I had a 25th anniversary thing in 1998, and then you have a 60th anniversary thing in 2000 and it's so confusing. A 50th anniversary in 2008, 60th in 2018. But then there's also this 40th that we got in 2020. What's it the 40th of? Oh, yeah, it's the 40th anniversary of that particular model, which came out in 1980 when they did one of the best lines of train that Lego ever did, the 12 volt in the gray era. That era in the 80s, I wish I had known about it, but I lived over here in the United States. I was not aware that they were even making that stuff. And that was true model railroading right then when they were making the 12 volt era. So I appreciate the throwback to the 12 volt era with that kit that they came out with.
Yeah, you see, there are a lot of trains we all remember, but I would love to show you my favorite train.
Okay.
Do you have a guess? If you have to guess, what is my favorite train? And you see me in the fold downstairs and like you commenting, hey, you have good sense to look at sets, which I like too. Do you know what my favorite train of all times is? Of Lego, of course.
Is it the red and black, the inner city train or whatever, high speed passenger train, 7745?
Yeah, I have it still at home. It's a magical train. It still looks good. And the old 12 volt system, I love so much. I still have everything. It is in my top 3.
Okay.
But there's one train up there. You have one more guess.
Is it older than the 12 volt thing?
No, it's newer. And
is it the Horizon Express?
This is, of course, I mean, this is also in my top 3. So here we go.
That's the Horizon Express.
It's an awesome train. So
that's one of my favorite trains of all time, the real train, and I have multiple models of that, the Horizon Express, the TGV.
This is awesome. But of course, I'm sorry, I have to correct myself. I'm talking about passenger train. So of course, the Emerald Knight is up there, and it's lovely, the locomotive. But okay, I will show you. I will say, my goodness. So one more guess, because you're BrickTsar, because you're VIP.
Is it the fantasy train?
No. So I will lift it up now. So you've maybe 3 more seconds. Go for it. Go for it. One more guess.
The ICE train. Oh no, the Amtrak.
It was so easy.
Yeah.
And
the Metroliner.
And okay,
the club car didn't go with it first.
If your guess would have been right, this would have been the present for you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. This was just for fun. No, I mean, this train is still awesome. It was released twice. And this, just to show the young kids, if some kids are watching, hey, those old men, I mean, this lovely looking man and this guy who thinks he's still 20 wearing this cap. And this was a set. You go to the store. Back in the days, there was no Amazon, and I bought this as a single set. So this was released as an add-on to the starter set, and this is still looking awesome. This is, I would say, my favorite set of all time because it's perfect. It is perfect. It is magical, and I still have it here. And this is one of the only sets my daughters are not allowed to play with. It's here. It's always I'm sleeping with now. This is lovely. Do you have it at home too?
Yeah. Yes, I have both versions, the re-release and the original. I have both the Metroliner and also both club cars with the variations and the pieces. I remember when the original came out, I was not able to afford it. So when they made the re-release, it ended up being on clearance, and I was able to get the full set, the Metroliner set, on clearance, and then the club cars. Those were much more affordable. I think I might have actually got the club car before I actually got the full Metroliner. But I agree with you. That is an awesome set, and it's something that I wish Lego would do more of, having single cars, add-on cars, like when they make a ICE train. Make additional cars that you can buy just the individual car if you want to make your train longer. They've not done that in a long time,
unfortunately. But this is a good question here in the chat. So again, you can ask everything really everything to BrickTsar, not to me, of course. But this is really good here. Ben was mentioning, I just I put it there, that he thinks all the doors are gone. And this is something which drives me crazy too. I don't get it. Why Lego is releasing trains without doors. I mean, here we had the door and you can actually open it. And it would be maybe fine for me. Maybe it would be fine. And it's a maybe. If you can see a door and you cannot open it. It would be like one step in the right direction. But having no doors, it's a no-go for me. Why is there, in the new train as well, in the new passenger train with the kind of orange, yellow, and blue, I have it here under my notebook, the box right now, so I can read it. I don't get it. Why is there no door? So is this an issue for you too?
Oh my goodness, what are you talking about? So the most popular video on my channel, I rant about that. It is one of the ICE trains. I'm like, where's the doors? Of course I'm being facetious. It's not like, I understand these are for children. They're just going to build it. It's a model. You can imagine there's a door. I mean, I'm used to it from my era where like, how are they supposed to get in this building? How are they supposed to fit in this car?
Yes.
I understand those issues because it's just a toy. But yeah, when they stopped putting doors on the trains, I mean, all the trains had doors. They are a way to get in the train. But with those, I was just like, why are there no doors? And I got so many negative comments, which kind of, I actually enjoyed getting the negative comments about that, but it made that video very popular.
It is a big deal for me because I don't get it too. So it seems we are buddies for life here because it's not acceptable. And this is why, for example, I love the modular buildings so much. Because as a kid, I always thought, okay, you have a police station, but how can you get up there? How's it possible? And really, stairs have been really important for me, and to close the building. So when I first saw the images of the modular buildings, I was totally happy, and I'm still are, because you have to find a way to get up there, and you can close the building. If it's winter, it's cold inside the building. If you have no back door and no wall, so and the same here with the trains. I don't get it. I don't see it. And you could say, of course, the mini picker will get in but it's not right. Yeah. So, of course, we both cannot look into the future, but maybe we both have seen leaked images of an upcoming maybe train of Lego. I'm recognized Lego Fan Media. Sometimes we get information, and if we have them, we won't share anything till an embargo ends. But we have seen images in the internet. We both. So it seems that it's kind of an ongoing thing now that after so many years, I think it's 8 years since we've seen the TGV Horizon Express, it's a good sign that there might be a next train for adults out there soon. What do you think of this one?
Well, I think it would be foolish for Lego to be so focused now on making things to bring in new adults to the Lego hobby. I like to say that I've been here for, how old am I? I've been here for 34 years as an adult. I've been wanting more toys for adults. And so I think it would be foolish for them not to make a train for adults, because when I go to shows, outside of maybe the great ball contraption, people gravitate to things that move like the trains going around the cities. That brings them in, and then they can see all the details around there. So I think having a detailed toy, I mean, I've been big fans of what Brick Model Railroader does. I've got one over here, one of their kits, but making realistic looking trains, there are people that will spend a lot of money to buy those. And so if they're going to make hobby kits for adults, I think it would be good sellers towards adults. The kids might not like it, I don't know, but I'm hoping that we see some kits. We had one kit in the what were the hobby set? Were they called hobby sets back in the 70s? They had the Thatcher Perkins locomotive. It was the largest locomotive that Lego's ever made. It was not designed to go on track. It actually had rubber tires, but having a kit, it was just a display piece. I think those would be nice, but it's also nice having the ones that you can actually run on the rails. And the one thing with that Disney train, I'm not a big Disney fan, but the thing about the Disney, I see it back there behind you. That thing is 8 wide, not 6 wide like all the other Lego trains. It is 8 wide, and that to me it looks so much better being on that scale. Yeah, beautiful. And I'm not even a fan of Disney, but I love that set. And you also got a full, a nice building with that, with the train station. Those are the types of things I would like as an adult to see. But even with the Disney train, they have the opportunity. They could make extra cars. But what we do as AFOLs, we end up going buying multiples of the set so we can make additional cars.
That's the thing we do. And shout out to Marcus Besser who designed this one. So one last try here. When I go to the zoo, I love to see the crocodiles. Those are cute animals. Look at me. So what do you think of those animals? And have you heard there's a train called Crocodile as well?
Is it from Australia or something? I don't know why they call these engines Crocodile.
I think so. Okay, I can show you an image in a second because at our exhibition, Matthias brought a big, massive crocodile. I will show this to you, but if you've seen the leaked images, which you have, so again, we cannot talk in depth about it, but do you think this is a good thing? And do you think this is a good start for maybe a new line? Or do you think, I don't know the train, why is it a crocodile and not an Amtrak?
Andres. I will never say it's a bad thing that Lego is making another train. Well, of course, it's a good idea. To me, they have failed in not making enough trains. So yes, I definitely. Even if it's a rail line that I'm not particularly drawn to, I applaud Lego for making that, and it's something I would definitely buy, even though I don't know what it looks like.
Okay, I see this is a
crocodile.
Okay, I can show you the big crocodile. And again, we are talking about an issue here. It's always not good to see leaked images, but when you're on several, for me, it's always, I wouldn't say depressing, but then when I saw an image which is maybe not good, the lighting is bad and stuff, I love to see those images in large scale, to get a really look and maybe have my own hands on it and build it on my own.
Right.
But it's a sad thing that there are so many leaks out there. But if there are leaks, it's no way to me to not see them because I'm in so many Facebook groups and stuff. So then of course I've seen it as well. But this is the crocodile you cannot buy because it's made of 30,000 Lego bricks. It's my good friend Matthias Yonda, and this is really an awesome train here.
Oh yeah, I have seen that. I've seen his crocodile. That one, yes. Did he not also make or somebody else made on that scale a Flying Scotsman? But that is amazing. I would not buy that because I couldn't afford it.
He told me that he spent, those other trains of him, by the way, the Big Boy and the BR64. So this is awesome trains. So I think for the green one, the Crocodile, he told me he spent like $24 at BrickLink.
$24.
This is the story here. So again, I totally agree here. It's good to have trains, and it is not the biggest secret on earth that there could be a new train soon out there as well for adults. Also, we've seen the new powered up system for the trains. Mm-hmm. I, for myself, the perfect solution would be the 12 volt functions with a 9 volt system. Because when I was a kid, I started with 12 volt and then switched to 9 volt. So I'm connected with both systems. But for me, the 12 volt system is still so much fun to play with. And I would love to see those functions again, that you can switch the rails and stuff. It's not possible. So do you think this is something Lego should change in the future? Or do you think, oh my goodness, the kids are not interested in playing with those kind of sets?
I definitely think they should do it, but I don't think they ever will. So I don't get my hopes up thinking about it. And there's a lot of third-party companies that have made automated systems to like throw the switches and things, but I really missed out on that on the 80s with the trains, since we did not have those functions available here. So when I discovered that in the late 90s, and then in 2000, and with eBay came along, I sold all my Castle and Pirate sets so I could buy the 12-volt trains. And I thought it was the most amazing thing to have you can do block wiring, basically, where you can stop a train the much similar way to what model trains are controlled with today. But I think a even better solution in the future, and I don't think Lego made their own gauge, and they've stuck to it. Like in 1966, when they came out with the rails, every train car will work on the power functions track today. So it's good that they kept the same scale, but unfortunately, they did not pick a scale that was compatible with anything else in model railroading. Even Mega Blocks or Mega Constructs, they made a train that's G scale, which is what a lot of people refer to Garden Railway, the LGB Macklin, I can't ever say it, trains. But so you can actually run your Mega Constructs train on G scale track. And those have powered rails. And so if Lego made something that you could have powered rails and then have DCC control, basically where you put a chip in the train, and then you can control every feature that train would have, whether you added sound. And that's what the Brick Model Railroader guys do. They add a lot of, they give it that model railroad feel by adding sound and different controls to it, which, again, Lego's a toy, and I don't think they would go into this because it would be very expensive, because it's expensive in the model. If you're in HO scale trains or O scale or G scale, it's very expensive to have these types of features, but it would make the hobby, it would be amazing to have sound and being just able to control it with your phone. The Powered Up has so many limitations. I need to go back to second grade so I can learn how to operate it. I know it's supposed to be easy. I have a hard time with it.
It's a different way to play with.
Is it the way that they teach kids today in school? And that's why it's probably like a 7-year-old could probably sit there and get that control and just right away just pick it up and do it. Whereas I'm looking at it, it's just all pictures, and my motors are going opposite directions. I want them to go in the same direction. It gets very confusing for me.
It is, maybe because many people over in the loved country know, in Hamburg, where I live, we have the Miniatur Wunderland, the biggest train museum in the world. So with toy trains, the whole layouts and stuff. It's awesome. And the thing is, I think 3 years ago, I bought a Macklin set on my own and a few things. But it's so awesome to look at, and maybe even to play with it. But actually to build stuff, use the glue and add a tree here and there. It isn't my thing to do. It's awesome to look at, but it's so realistic. I couldn't do it. And this is the good thing about Lego, that you could actually build stuff on your own, and it looks good. That you think, oh, this is satisfying. This is the thing, I would love to do it. But if you glue something and made it wrong, or you use any color and stuff, it's a mess. So I'm really glad that I'm a Lego fan, and not this big fan of I don't know the name in English, but all the toy trains which you see around.
Model railroaders is what we call them. And I enjoy watching trains. I'm like you, though, as far as building things like model kits, it's very challenging for me.
Okay, and shout out to Lucas. I'm really sorry to call it toy trains, model trains. All right, here we go. But I mean, if you can play with something, it is maybe kind of a toy, but I will leave it this way. So otherwise, people will just run away here. I love trains in general. You do. So looking forward to maybe a new train this year and new stuff. And hopefully Lego will go on and releases more trains. So I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
But now we have a few minutes left, and I would love to talk to you about another topic. And I can tell you the truth here. I've bought so many Lego pieces. I've bought so many elements. I spend so much money on Lego stores, buying cups full of bricks. I've ordered so many parts direct at Lego shop, parts and pieces and stuff, and pick a brick. I have never ordered any single piece at BrickLink.
What?
Why?
You have
Why?
got to
Never.
be kidding.
It's the people are always, how could you building all those stuff? I say, yeah, because I collect sets. I buy cheap sets at the Lego store here in Hamburg. Every time I've been there, I grab a cup. Okay, I could use these parts maybe in 10 years. So I buy them. I have my collection right there. But really, I never actually needed a part. Every part I needed, I had someday here, or I found it at Lego Direct. So I know you're selling parts on BrickLink. I'm a bad guy now.
Yeah, I've been selling on BrickLink, but I didn't start out to become a seller on BrickLink. I started when it was called BrickBay. That was the original name, and it was because I had sets that I had bought on eBay or found at yard sales, and I wanted to complete them. And BrickLink is where you could get the pieces because Lego didn't make them anymore, the sets that I wanted. So I got into buying either old sets or parts for old sets. And yeah, BrickLink was great. And that's when I was buying more from overseas because a lot of the things that I wanted were only available in Europe. And so I got very busy buying things from Netherlands, Germany, the UK, and it was great. But over time, as I began acquiring more things, I learned that it was easier or better to buy big lots of things instead of just one individual set. And so I had acquiring multiples of sets when they would go on sale. And then I was like, I got too many of these. And so I began to sell some of the excess that I had, and then it just kind of grew over that. I started selling in 2004, but it was just kind of here and there. And then as I learned more when YouTube came along, I started learning from other people. And so now if I need a part, see, I don't have the access that you might where you live. You actually may have more access to parts. A friend of mine who lives in Munich, he said that in Germany, they have the parts. We have the sets in the States because we get all the Target deals, the Walmart deals. So for me to get something, I would see what set had the part, and I would go buy those sets and take the parts from it. And then the other parts I'd put in my BrickLink store.
I will add two things here. First, I've bought some parts at eBay like a few years ago. And when I build a mock, like my skyscrapers there, I always try to use the parts I have. So I'm a town planner. This is what I've studied. And it's always fun to try to use the bricks you have at home.
Yeah.
And when you see running out of an element, you can see if you find it somewhere. But actually, there's a new building behind. You cannot see right now, but there I bought the windows. And again, I was thinking, okay, you have to use BrickLink. But exactly the window I was looking for, I found at Lego. So it's really tricky. But there's one part I'm missing right now, and I would order it at your BrickLink store right now.
I probably don't have it.
if you have it, okay, because this piece I'm really missing. I don't have it anymore, and I need it. So this is your chance to earn a lot of money. I need maybe 50 of this element.
Oh.
It's a 2x2 light bluish gray jumper plate.
Oh, the 2x2. Yeah, that's 87. Was it 85? 87 580? Is that the part number?
It's possible. This is something I don't. But
Yeah, 87 580.
Tied with just one stud. Do we have 50 on storage right now?
I can tell you that. Hold on a minute.
You see, this is a big business here for you this evening. You thought we just talk, and suddenly.
Yeah, I'm going to look in my store, see if I have 87 580 in that color, which that's, you said light bluish gray?
Light bluish gray. Of course, the new gray.
Well, that part was never made
with the tiles with one stud.
I have two, so I'm sorry on this. I failed you.
You see right now this is not the end, but again.
I've done this before. Like my son needed a part, and I will go. He's like, I'm building this, and I need this. He wanted these. I can't remember what part it was, but I went and found the sets that had them and that had the best value for that set, and then I would go and buy like 10 copies of the set so he could get the part that he wanted. It's not probably the most time efficient way to do things, but yeah, that's what we've done. Sometimes if we need a bulk amount of a part, since I don't have access, I'm not a member of a lug anymore. I don't have access to lug bulk. I don't have access to what you might get as recognized fan media or any of that stuff. I pay whatever the price is.
Why, by the way, this has been a question earlier on. Somebody asked why you're not any recognized fan. So why are you not involved in the lab?
I've gotten rejected. When I apply, I get rejected. So that's why I'm not. I would love to be. I would love to be in a recognized fan media, which they do now for people that do online media like YouTube and like you have a blog and things like that. But I think it's because back in when I applied the first time, I was still using the minifigure, the sig fig on my avatar, and it was on my channel.
Right,
when you showed my channel, but I took all that stuff off. It's all just actually me now. And so I have reapplied for the land. I don't know. I try to communicate with what's her name? See, that's bad. I forgot her name. That's one of the people there that manages. But since if you're not in the land, you only have access to very limited stuff on the land site.
Yeah.
So I can't really. I don't get the news that you get. I don't. So yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not the ambassador. Michael's doing all the LAN stuff, so I'm not in the LAN as well. I have an access, but I don't use it. It's really Michael, because there's so much going on, and right now so many emails every day and content and stuff. So I focus really on my website because it's like a new universum too. A lot of stuff to do. So it's for me it's good to be there. It's fun to be recognized, and I have so many friends in Berlin. It's so good to be there. But for me, all the work actually is doing Michael. So it's good to have him. So I think there are a few more questions here before we will say goodbye. But okay, this is something I just showed. Blockhead UK is mentioning. Of course, it's sometimes cheaper to buy parts from Lego and BrickTsar. And for me, I was maybe a lucky person that I found the parts I need at Lego Direct. If it wouldn't be this case, I would have ordered the parts of Bricklink. But since the Lego group bought Bricklink from the owner family, so the founder died a few years ago. But do you think it is still the same, or do you still do? I mean, there have been some changes already. Do you think it's a big deal for the community, or it is a bad thing that Lego bought this independently Bricklink store?
Yeah, I actually don't. I have a bad feeling about this, as they would say in Star Wars. The things that the major changes they have made. Oh, thank you, Kaz. I'm an April, by the way. That's an old fan of Lego. But a fan of old Lego. But I think it has the potential to be bad, but the major changes they have made, I don't have a problem with. Like they got rid of the third-party stuff. And I remember when BrickLink, before any of Lego took over, when they brought in the third-party stuff, I was like, that's not what Daniel wanted. He wanted it just to be Lego, not third-party stuff. And I was I rarely got on the forums, but I was like, this is a bad idea. But nothing against those companies. I mean, and I actually got some of their parts on some of my trains here, but Lego got rid of the third-party stuff. Now, one thing they got rid of that I felt kind of bad about was the people that make the engraved bricks and the chrome bricks.
Yeah.
That I think was a good resource. A lot of those guys did it relatively inexpensively. I've bought some from overseas with the chrome bricks and the engraved bricks, but there's still other ways of getting those. But I just hope that that Lego has acquired other companies and those companies no longer exist. And I'm just hoping that's not what happens with BrickLink, because I think BrickLink is a really good resource. It's really helped me in getting pieces I need I don't need anything, but getting pieces I want to complete out old sets in my collection.
This is the headline of the evening. He's got everything. When you mentioned, I've got everything at home. So this is...
Yeah, it's been... BrickLink is probably one of my favorite websites. So I'm on it more than anything. I think I'm on BrickLink more than I am YouTube. And again, I know that maybe I have a reputation as being a seller on BrickLink, but honestly, that's not what I ever intended to be. And being a seller has only been a way of funding my passion to buy more Lego products. And I've always said, if I have to close the store tomorrow, I'll close it. It's like, there's other things that I can do. And I do love the Lego product. I love being able to get the things I want. Now, I love having that, ability. I sell stuff, I get the money, and I can go buy stuff that, as a kid, I couldn't do that. I couldn't afford things. And I get those comments a lot on my YouTube channels. It's like, oh, you're lucky because you got all that stuff. And it's like, I'm also old, and I've worked really, really, really hard for the things that I do have here. And I couldn't have done this without spending a lot of time and effort and building up this collection over the 40 plus years. Almost, I'm like 46 years into this.
Yeah, this is a long, good time. By the way, in the back, I see the Yellow Submarine. I'm a big Beatles fan here. It's a lovely set as well. And I see Mickey and Minnie. And there you have already seen the image. There's one official image already of the new set. So you're really looking forward to this one, or do you think it doesn't look good? So we just talk about the one. I can show this image by the way, because Lego said, okay, it's kind of a leak, but go for it, because it was on their own server. In a second, I can show it. So what do you think of the new Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse?
I think there's going to be a lot of people that really want to get this set. It looks really good. It's when I think of some of the large kits from back in the day, like the Yoda and the Darth Maul bust and things, they look very bricky. You can see you do see a few studs in these, but with all the round bricks and the way they've done these elements, they do look really sharp. I won't be a day one buyer. I'll wait for the right gift with purchase to get that.
Okay. But it's we'll see if there are going to be more images maybe within the next days. Who knows? But there's one last question here from the chat, and then I have one last topic here, a short topic of mine. This is a fun story. I mean, I can give the answer, you can give it, if there's going to be a new monorail one day. But as we all know, the mold is gone.
That's why Lego stopped having community engagement peoples, because they got tired of people asking when they're going to make the monorail again, when they're going to bring back 9 volts. You got my 9-volt shirt here that Kevin Hinkle made. But the monorail, no. It will. I don't think it will ever be made again. The rails were, and I think even the motors may have been a third-party group that had the patent for that. So I don't even think Lego, even if they wanted to, I don't think they could right now.
And it was way too expensive. The same reason they changed the 9-volt system to regular, just plastic bricks, because it was too expensive. And there has been new rules in the US, I think, because I've read an article once that because of the 9-volt system, if you're young and put your hands there and your tongue and something like that. So there was a new rule, like, I don't know, 12 plus or something, but it was way too expensive. This was the main reason.
Yeah, we're stupid over here because it's like they put piece counts on here or else we can't buy a set. I've seen the shortage of sets. They've been bringing sets over from Europe and putting them on like the stores like Target and Walmart, and they take a sticker and put the piece count on the box.
Oh,
apparently the law in the US, you got to have the piece count. It's the stupidest thing.
Yeah.
What does it matter what the piece count is? But here in the US.
But funny fact here, when I receive the images from Lego, I most times upload the box with your piece count because I think it looks good. You have on the front view the information you need. I mean, as a blogger, you can see the image. Oh, it's 2,000 pieces, and I wouldn't miss it when I'm in the store.
Right.
As a parent. Oh, is this police station 600 pieces or 900? No, nobody cares. But there's one last thing. So we have talked about trains. And we agree here, give us more trains, Lego. We are totally fine. I see Bricklink is a good place to be, and I have to order parts soon there. It's no big deal. And we are good here too. What I didn't know is that you're really into the mock business now. So you're a big mocker now. BrickTsar's a big mocker. And I can show these images because, I mean, this is something I have to show the world out there.
Oh, no.
I will do it right now. Don't say no. And 1, 2, 3, go. Here we have your news.
Oh, my goodness.
Cute. Tell us about it.
All right. So this is something that has been in my head for over 2 years. I have been wanting to make the characters from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. The best produced Lego, I mean, not Lego, it's a show, not a show, but it was the series. They did 6 episodes, and they haven't done one in I don't know, over 2 years now. But it's the red one. He's red, and the yellow one is Yellow Guy from
Perfect.
Me Scared. I sat down and made those the last couple of days. Thank you for sharing that. I was supposed to reveal that on my channel. Now you ruined it.
I'm really sorry, but that's why I'm here.
And those are my mocks. I actually made a mock.
I'm the first one. It's exclusive content right now. I'm sorry that you won't have so many views on your channel now because I've already shown those lovely characters. It's a nice mock. I mean, and this is kind of a nice brickhead, so a tall one. But I haven't seen the show, so it's.
Oh, you don't know? Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Okay.
I'm really sorry.
That's okay.
But is there anything we nearly done here? This was 1 hour. We could talk for hours, it seems. But is there something you would like to add to address? I will show once again your main channel when you're really into bricks. It's BrickTsar. Lovely channel. Again, I watch your videos since many years, not on a regular basis, but you've been around all the years. It's always good to see. Oh, there he is again, and now we've talked. Hopefully, we'll meet someday at any conventional stuff. Is there anything you would like to add, and maybe to your lovely fans here in Germany?
Well, first, thank you for having me on here, but. Germany has a special place in my heart, not only because my daughter speaks German. When I discovered the 12-volt era, that's where most of the stuff I was buying was coming from Germany. In fact, when I was searching on eBay, I had to use the search term Eisenbahn. That's how I a lot of the things. I learned a few words, not enough, but so Germany had a special place in my heart, and there's some other people from Germany that I've traded with or purchased from over the years, different things. in my collection. But I think with YouTube, I am so glad I started doing YouTube, and I've really enjoyed the last few years, because now I just do YouTube because I like doing it. I don't worry about, like, I was one of those that in the early days I wanted to make it like my career, but now I just do it for the fun, and because I like having that interaction with other people, showing them things that I like from my collection. So it's been a great 8 years on YouTube with this BrickTsar channel, and learning about different people around the earth. Meeting you now, talking to you personally like this, has been really great. And I do hope we get to meet up at a show someday, whether it is I come over there to Europe, or when you come to the States. If you ever come back to New York, I got to make sure that I get up there, because I love going up to New York. And hopefully things will settle down in the world. We'll get back to normal. But
that's the good thing, that we can still talk. Of course, everybody, please stay safe. Crazy times, but we'll get through this all together, and we'll meet in person, hopefully. This was fun. So thank you so much for your time. It's getting later here in Germany now, so I have to go to bed soon. But it was a good way that we could talk here. Again, check out the awesome YouTube channel. Again, it's just for fun channel, and those are the best. I mean, I'm doing the same. My YouTube channel is just for fun. My job is my website, actually. By the way, last question of mine. What is your job? Is BrickLink your job now, or do you have another job?
No. My job, I work for the big phone company, and I actually work in. I like that's another thing. If you watch enough of my old videos, anytime anything has to do with phones, I collect those things. And there are far too few phone trucks in the Lego world. That's what I need to make as a mock, is a phone truck, since I'm the phone guy. I drive the truck. That's a reference to an old commercial, but I work on 911 here in the United States.
So I will say big thank you to you, a big thank you to the guys in the chat. And now there's one last mean thing. You have to tell the people where they can find many more articles tomorrow. What is the name of the website there?
Wait a minute. Zusammenbot.
It's fine. Zusammengebaut.com. Let's leave it this way. Okay. I wish you a very nice evening, very nice day, rest of the day. This was our Brick and Roll live stream today. There are going to be more streams in the future whenever there's time, and we have such a great guest like today. Thank you so much. Everybody stay safe and say goodbye. Bye.
Be excellent to each other.